This time on Woody's Garage, we work on the Ruppity. Rupp.
So we're back looking at the Rupp. Same day as looking at the Roma Nova. Today it is 60 degrees out. It's January, I can't remember, mid-January, late January. And 3 days ago it was 5 degrees high temperature, 5 degrees. Today it's 60. And it's raining like hell and the water's seeping in the basement. Because everything was all ice. We had an ice storm after that. It's like every day is some kind of like crazy ass weather. So it's like so far from normal. But anyway, let's look at the Rupp. So I think last time I finally decided, like, I put in these chain adjusters here. Yeah. It's kind of like half-assed on there, kind of. No, I guess it's on there okay. Gotta put my glasses on. And I think we got chains not binding up. Yippee. So I'm gonna sell my real lawnmower, my Savage Arms 1 horsepower Briggs real lawnmower to some guy, because it's just sitting outside under a tarp, and I figured it should go to somebody who can appreciate it. This guy really likes it. And he said, hey, I got lots of parts, you need anything? And I said, yeah, I need a Tecumseh air filter set up. So he brought this over to my house and just gave it to me, and he hasn't picked up the lawnmower yet. I don't know. But like, hey, great. So it can go on this engine here, which is, I think, is a 3.5 or 4 horsepower. So this isn't spectacular, but let's blow it out and clean it and mount the thing. Well, looks clean, doesn't mean it is clean. But it's usable for now. So I was lucky to find 2 screws off this old carb, my old carb stash. Because these screws, I don't know, they seem to be someplace between American and metric, I swear. Maybe it's the pitch thread, I don't really know. But that's what they look like. I'll be damned if they're not precious. And I also thought that I have a aftermarket carburetor, you know, cheap Chinese one on. After I found this, I was going like, God, is that going to be metric? And no, these seem to fit like perfect. So let's mount up the filter. That part's on. It's crazy that I'm doing this today, because I noticed on old mini bikes, I haven't been back to that site in a while. I looked in the parts just to see if maybe someone had a clutch. That somebody is selling the 25, I think it's 25 degree angle manifold for these Rupps, and I guess he had a bunch of them made up, and he's selling them for 25 bucks a piece. I don't have 25 bucks to get one, but good Lord, I mean, what timing there, huh? I mean, look at that angle there. That's straight. How can it, you know, matter that much? You know? Anyway, let's put the other part on. Yeah, I like how these air filters look. Oh, this thing's just going to rust up if the guy just took the paint off of it or whatever, but pretty cool nonetheless. I've never hitched up the throttle cable on this thing. Now I see why I never hitched up the throttle. It would be nice if the cable could go through that hole up here and end up right here. And when it pulls down, oh, that's quite a spring. When it pulls down, it moves that arm over here, this guy, back and forth. But it's pushing this way. It's pushing this way. And this throttle needs to go that way, like the opposite. So it's going to take some thought. Check this clutch compared to that other one. The chain is right up against the case. Get it to focus here. You know, the teeth of the sprocket are so much further out on the shaft of the clutch Yeah. I'm also going to need some kind of spacer in here between the last washer and the clutch. I think I got a nice big washer to go in there. Yeah, that's a good one. There's still a little bit of slack there. You know, nothing's like totally jammed up. It's certainly loose here. It's a max torque clutch, so this is a kind of a better one. Although it's definitely has some wear. Okay, the Ruttman looks somewhat the same. I'm going to have to go back and look at my old video and see what I did. But it also has a hole on the, you can see that, on the other side of the, where it pivots. So when it pushes this way, it will work. Where I don't have that option on the other one, but I could certainly drill a hole, I think. So I might go with a setup like this. And it's really raining out. Everything's blowing around the yard. Mop time. Hey, we're back on the Rupp today. Figured I'd do a little work. I just noticed something the other day. That there's actually a name on the side of the tank that I never noticed before. I thought this was probably original paint. But I could be wrong about that. That someone sprayed right over the name. And it looks like it kind of has this little silvery look to it. And see it there too. I wonder if gasoline would take that paint off. I doubt it. But that's not what we're doing today. I'm going to try to hitch up the throttle. I decided to run the throttle down under the engine and up this way. Certainly makes more sense. So got to cut off some of the slack here with the side cutters, that frayed crap. And we'll run it up here and we'll put a end stop right there. And that's not what it's called. What are those things called? You'll see it in a second. And then we'll go from there. I think we got to take the carb off and drill a hole on this side so that the governor can push the throttle open. Like I probably said before, I like it because it has the adjustment here. And that seems to sit really well right there. So now we're going to take the carburetor off. This carb is one of those cheap Chinese fucking bowl rusting replacement carburetors. So I kind of, you know, I have some in my stash and I'd really like to get them working. You know, you clean them out 100 times and they still don't work right, but it's probably that 101st time that'll actually do it. So when the weather gets warmer, right now we're just going into February and it's 10 degrees out today, I'll probably switch the carburetor. But for now, I'm going to try to drill a hole like right about there, just on this side of the pivot for the Z-bend bar. Got on my old Craftsman Vari-Speed, lousy drill press. Almost dead, had it for a long time. You can see that. See if I can get it. Okay, I put a piece of duct tape on it. We'll see if that'll kind of hold it in place as I drill. I can't even see where I am. Okay, we'll try this. Well, I probably stand a better chance of taking the thing out of there. You know, take the screw out of the butterfly there and lay it out. Yeah, that's out. There's a little piece of felt on the top where it sits on top of the carb. Now we'll see what we can do to try it again, I guess. Yeah, we got one with a hand drill. Just Vari-speeded it. It might have to be a little bit bigger, huh? That's alright, we got the initial hole. Okay, found another dull drill bit, and it seems to be about the right size for the Z-bend stuff. Just hope I have a wire that's long enough. Kind of the reason I didn't want to take this out of here. The screws are always a bitch to get in, but I got it. I took my old little tiny screwdriver, rubbed it on the magnet, a piece of speaker magnet, until I got, lots of junk on it. Now I wiped that off, but it magnetizes it a bit so I can hold the screw so you can put it in. But what I'm noticing in here, I mean, this is the way I took it out, right? I noted what the bottom was. Shouldn't those holes be on the side? Letting a little bit of air? Okay, before I put the carb back on, you can kind of see how this works. I'm expecting the governor arm to move the throttle. Okay. Yeah, carb's back on. See where the hole is. You see, if you can see back here, I'll change the light so it's a little bit better. We got the governor, and I got a piece of this baling wire, whatever this crap is that I got. It's pretty stiff. You can use it at least as a mock-up to see if it works. So I'll put some bends in that and put it on. Make a Z-bend like that for now. Okay, here's the bad news. That is not going to work. The hole needs to be further over to get the leverage. Son of a bitch. Okay. Damn. Yeah, no, I was wrong. Looking at it on this side, the end of it is just hitting this part here. So we'll just cut it off a little bit. Well, it wasn't working, but I had to pull a whole bunch of slack out of the cable. This is like the cheapest throttle in the world. It's plastic. I got it at a swap meet. Cheap, and look at this end's all broken and stuff. I think we're gonna kind of secure it with a little bit of electrical tape, so at least stays put. What junk. No, a little tape isn't going to do it. I think I'm going to take the cable out and cut this part off, and hopefully this part will sit over the rest of it. And if it doesn't, I got to get another throttle. I cut off this part, and I drilled into this part, and I slid it over, and it's still crap, but you know, it's going to work a lot better than it did. Put a little tape around it and see if it holds up. That's what we got right now. Lame. That's not going to go all the way. You can see the piece of wire flexing there. I don't know if it came with bad lighting. And you know, there's also some adjustments for the spring under here. Yeah, it ain't right. Will it work? I don't know. You know, the governor's always going to want to have a tendency to pull back. Yeah, you can see how clumsy that is. And it's in the linkage. Let me see if I can refine that a little bit. The throttle's kind of moving around, you know, it's a piece of, look at this crap. That's a piece of crap. Yeah, I don't like that throttle whatsoever. A little issue with this too. When it comes all the way open, Seems like it can stick like that. So we got a series of springs. We got this guy, that's kind of a return spring, but it's, you know, it's not really doing its job. And this spring needs to be messed with so that we can get it to open more. It's going to take some finessing. I think I'll get back to it some other time. I also found this thing. I cut this off of a Baja mini bike. This went around for the chain guard. And this, I cut the other piece off. And I got this. So I was thinking like maybe this could hold a band brake. I was sure I bought 2 band brakes when I bought them the last time, but I can't seem to find one. So I'm going to have to get another one. Hang on a sec. This bike does have the holes, and this plate will mount, say about like that, but you know, I can bend those tabs around so that it would hold a band brake, but I don't know, this thing doesn't seem to rise much higher than the holes back there. So we might not go with it, and I need, like I said, I need a band brake. Okay. Well, today we're going to put the band brake on the Rupp. And I got this super ugly piece of metal that I'm going to use to mount it. Probably something like this. I got the mounting holes here, so I got to find some bolts that'll go on there. So I might do that first. And then we got the new band brake. I'm going to get these for like $14 from eBay. It's a 4.5 inch. And I don't think I have a cable. I might have a cable kicking around. I don't know. I've got to look. So, we'll find some bolts. I found a couple of bolts. That will go all the way in to one of these holes. I can't believe how deep that is. So I got 2 of those. Now we got to drill some holes in the piece of stock we got here and decide where we're going to cut it off, etc. I cut the wings off this plate. Those 2 pieces that were sticking out, because I couldn't really tell if it was going to fit, but this is kind of the deal. It's got to be a lot higher than that. So we got to cut the crude piece of metal. Yeah, this ugly plate will do it. It can kind of move too, which is kind of nice. Because these slots are the same size as these bolts. It's funny, that pilot hole lines up almost exactly where I want the hole, but I actually want it a little bit higher, right about there. Obviously bigger. So we got to drill that out next. Yeah, that location should be good. You know, when you bring it around, get about like this. Looks pretty good, I think. Well, a little crooked there. Bolt needs to be longer. See if we can find a longer one. Yeah, that should do it. Look at that ugly mass of crap. But the alignment will be right. I'm gonna paint that piece, the ugly piece, smooth out the corners a little bit, see if we can find a cable, and hitch it up. Yep, that'll work with the cable. The only cable I came up with was this job. And we're a little bit short. Too bad, it's a nice quality cable, nice and thick and heavy. But, so I just ran out to Walmart. You know, I went out and buy at least $10 on something every day. And we got this kit, which I've used before. Bicycle set of cables. You get three, I think three. And it's like under 10 bucks. So it's not bad. So these will make do. So here is what I assume to be the front brake cable. And it is actually long enough, believe it or not. It's pretty short. But you get this on this end. You know, I'm going to cut off, I think, this end. Or I need to get at least rid of this thing. Or maybe I'll keep this thing. I don't know. Maybe it'll fit right in there. Although I think I've done that before and I didn't actually think there's any advantage to it. And this has this kind of end on it. So we got that end opposed to this end, and this end should go into the brake, so this end will probably be cut off and we'll thread it back through again. So they give you some good stuff like these cap ends and then these things to go over the end of the cable so it's not all sharp and pointy, which is kind of nice. So I just cut off the end of this cable and I have to thread it back through. And we lost a couple of wraps here. They got caught going through. Usually it goes through pretty smooth, this time not. I left enough on so that I can pull it for adjustments, and it's going to tuck this thing in there and be out of the way. As you notice, I put one of those ends on, which is pretty nice. And so we need to adjust. Right now it's all the way down. The way I had it before, it was, I mean, that might even stop it. I don't know. But we got enough here, and like I said, if I have to pull it in more, it's okay. That's weird. I had it so tight I had to back it off, and now it's too loose. Still. Oh well, we'll choke up on that, and I would say this is finished. Not a big deal. This whole bike is just about finished, I think. Well, I take that back. I kind of don't like how much is here. I think I'm going to move this over about here. Will it make a difference? You know? Because right now, I mean, it's rubbing on the drum. I mean, I can turn it, but it's pretty hard to turn. That's no good. And the brake lever's all the way in, and it's still, you know, it's bottoming out. So something's not right there. Now this guy's not sucking in at all, although I don't expect it to because it's at the pivot spot. Yeah, well, we moved it over from there to there, not much. It's still, you know, doesn't really pull in on this side. I guess it's not really going to. That's a pretty good wrap until it gets right about at 10 o'clock. Looks like the drum can move. The handle's all the way in, so I don't like that. So just when I give it a run, I guess I'll have to figure out what's going on or crash into a tree, one or the other. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I got these bushings because it was my guess when I first put this thing together that they were going to fit in between here for the chain to just take up the slack here, you know. This is a precaution of the back and forth, you know, pulling the bearings out, whatever. And this one looks like it'll fit fine, but I do want to look at the chain alignment again before I do this. Okay, we got that on. That looks pretty good. Seems to roll fine. Now we'll have to check out the other side if we can get another one of those bushings in, or if we're going to have to use washers. Yep, we got the other bushing on this side too. Seems to line up well. Yeah, I know everything won't jump all over the place. At least I hope. Hope the chain doesn't like jump off. Who knows? So these are the hand grips that are now foot pegs. And this one does not fit on very well. Why? Because it's got a big split. Yeah. I could, probably the best thing to do is to safety wire it on. You know. These seem to run, you know, just a bit longer than maybe they should be. Don't really know. Wonder if there's some kind of glue. I can just, you know, glue them together for what it's worth. I got this stuff called like E300 or something like that. I can never remember the name of it. It's sold in like Walmart in the needle and thread craft type stuff, and it is a great glue. Absolutely amazing. Kind of works like half glue, half silicone. I've used it on my wetsuits and stuff like that. I might try it out on this. That's still, even with it together, it's pretty loose. So, which makes me think that maybe it was a throttle. I don't know. But I think we'll probably wrap tape around this one. Okay, I was off by 3,000. E6000 is what this stuff's called, and it's pretty damn good. I mean, and it's cheap too. It's like $3, so try it out. Anyway, I'm going to clean this out with a swab and alcohol in this channel. Then we're going to stick it in the Jurgensen clamp here and clamp it tight. So I noticed today we got a nice ground over here for our kill switch, which we just got a little while back. That guy right there has 2 leads. So one's going to have to go to ground, and the other one's going to have to go to, in this case, the coil to ground it out. So we'll have to make a little cord, little cable from here to what looks like a bullet connector on here, and also for the coil. So I'm also still thinking about this carburetor and the 20-degree angle manifold, which I believe goes here. I don't think it goes up here. I think it goes between this manifold and the carburetor. But I also just thought of this the other day, that I have this Honda carburetor that I have no idea what model it's off of, but it's got about the same bolt spread. Not sure it's the same, but you know, throwing this baby on here, that'd be pretty cool. Of course, I'd have to figure out cables and whatnot. Probably make something work, I'm sure, but you know, then will the angle affect this one the same? You know what I mean? Don't know. Switched up the Rupp brake yet again. I didn't realize how malleable this metal is. You can bend it with your fingers. It's really weird. Right now, it's gonna work fine, but when I pull a brake all the way in, you see they connect like that, which is not good, but I'm pretty sure that's enough stopping power right there. I guess we'll find out. I mean, the brake's all the way in, and that's all I got. So this is a 4.5 inch, and it's what I ordered the last 2 times, and it worked out fine. Now this one looks kind of like maybe I should have had a 4. I don't know. I'm not sure, but we're gonna go with it for now, and if it doesn't stop, we're going to take it outside pretty soon when the weather's a little bit warmer and see if we can run it. And then we'll know.